My name is Elsie Ward. And when I was 15, I could have stopped World War II. I'm looking for my crown. If I can feel the weight of it again, I can carry the guilt. If you've got it, it might look pretty on, but it won't bring you luck. Give me back my guilt. I was York Railway Queen in 1936. My dad, he was a conductor, good at chatting to folk as he clipped their tickets and brightened their day. I was as shy as Silent Shite, he used to say. But he put me in the running for Railway Queen, and, well, to bring me out of myself, I suppose. I was shy, skinny and gawky. In my later years, I saw shy, skinny, gawky girls on the front covers of magazines. Elfin and androgynous is what they are now. Dressed up in my Railway Queen frills, I looked unexpected. And what was also unexpected was my W.C. Fields impersonation. A woman drove me to drink, and I didn't even have the decency to thank her. People found that kind of thing funny in the 1930s. I didn't say much as myself, you know. Found it easy using other folks' voices. I was surrounded by big voices. Yorkshire railwaymen loved the sound of their own voices. Me, Yorkshire, Yorkshire, me, beer. I listened, learned and mimicked. Tried to make folk laugh, you know, in other voices, never my own. I don't know if my dad rigged the vote, but in 1936 a boyish-looking, unexpected girl became a railway queen. And I was bobbed on the train off to meet Mr. Hitler. It was nearly 20 years since a whole generation of young men had been off by the First War. It was getting a bit tense between us and that Germany again. I was to go on a friendship trip organised by the railway unions of Great Britain and Germany. My suitcase was full of my mam's paste butties, a paste crown and a frilly frock. I was hustled along by the Yorkshire railwaymen and one woman, a nurse. Just in case, you know. Just in case of what? She'd served in the First War. Kept on being battered by life. Indestructible Ida. Me, the Yorkshire railwaymen and indestructible Ida chuffed our way across Europe. And I chuffed up my mam's paste butties. Motion sickness, homesickness, fear. No one told me what to do when I got there. I'm 15. I've never been further than Scarborough. I'm armed with a stick of rock and a framed photo of York Minster. Oh, the railwaymen will talk. So I think I'm just supposed to look pretty. but I look unexpected. Indestructible Ida gave me a dose of salts for the sickness, and the salts gave me a dose of sleep. Oh, they were strong. I could hear other voices around me. Talks of railwaymen being all self-important, so I floated off. I was bobbing into others' carriages, I could see a young woman with her nose stuck in picture bows, head full of film stars and romance. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers on the front cover. She's travelling to a new position, a governess. No time for romance. A shy young man is sitting opposite her. A clerk. Oh, no one ever hears him. He's been trying to meet her eyes over his crossword puzzle. And when the ticket inspector asks him a question, he stutters. Oh, he'll never ask her. So I, floaty Elsie, I give him a voice. Oh, but you're lovely with your face, with your cheeks so warm. There is nothing I can do but love you. Oh, I'm Fred Astaire singing to Ginger Rogers. I'm afraid Astaire is rubbish, but it doesn't have to be great because it's got her attention, and she thinks it's him singing to her because he's seen her magazine, and she laughs when the ice is broken. Oh, and I float on. There's a young boy craving his father's approval. So I give the man a voice. I love you, son. Oh, and down the corridor, there's a group of new recruits all joshing with each other. I spy the one that's hanging back. Oh, he never fits in. So I give him a voice. Have you heard the one about... Oh, I can't tell you that. It's a rude joke, but it has all the other recruits in stitches. Oh, and he's made a start. I feel powerful, and I feel like I matter. Well, we queen may be, but I'm a queen of somewhere else. I'm small, elfin, unexpected. Was I a fairy? Was this Germany trip a cover and indestructible Ida was delivering me back to my fairy folk? Oh, I felt my bony shoulders were wingwards, but now I was dreaming. The salts were through me, and I woke up with a jolt. We were here. Germany. I suppose I expected the meeting in Berlin to be like a railway union tea party. Bit of bunting, scones, ginger beer, a raffle with a meat prize. It wasn't. There were hundreds of folk, all lined up, all military-like, and the bunting was massive and angry, all red and black. was on the other side of the stage to me. The German railway queen. Blue-eyed, blonde, sleek, not skinny. Bob her on a sun lounger in Saint-Tropez with a floppy hat, two-piece in Clark Gable, and she'd be on the front of Picture Post. She smelled obedient, freshly scrubbed and ironed. She winced at Mr. Hitler's shouting. He was a little man with a Charlie Chaplin moustache, but very shouty. Little men try to make themselves bigger by making other people feel small. I could see she felt small, and I didn't like to see that. Had I been Floaty Elsie, queen of the fairies, I'd have taken his voice and said something funny and made her laugh. Only I couldn't get a word in edgeways, and I didn't speak German. I was surrounded by blustering Yorkshire men, and yet here was another blustery, shouty man telling everyone what to do. I decided no blustery, shouty man was going to scare me or her. We were queens. Mr. Hitler had a Charlie Chaplin moustache, and everyone knew who Charlie Chaplin was. He had no voice, but he was powerful. It could make people look and laugh without one. So I did a bit of a Charlie Chaplin shuffle back and forth. She looked too scared to smile, so I bobbed my finger under my nose and mimicked Mr. Hitler's shouty face. She looked away. Suddenly, it was my big moment as railway queen. This is what I'd come here for. I had to walk daintily across the platform and present my stick of frock and the framed photo of York Minster to the German railway queen. Only I didn't do it daintily. I did it as Charlie Chaplin. As Charlie Hitler. Like this. A giggle started to spread, and I thought, if I can get that giggle going through this big crowd, then we can all have scones, ginger beer, and a meat price, and all be friends. No more shouting. Indestructible Ida had other ideas. She put her big body twixt me and Mr. Hitler and the railwaymen, so they didn't see me mocking him. In hindsight, it was probably wise. But what if they'd all laughed? Instead of howling, they'd be howling at the silly little man they were all following into hell. Of course, I didn't know it would be hell then. But I wonder if she did. My crown was paste. Her crown was proper. She finally smiled as she accepted the gifts from a boyish-looking, unexpected girl who was mocking Mr. Hitler. She took my crown off, and she bobbed hers on my head. It was heavy. It was so heavy. I kept that crown I thought I could go back one day to find her. But it would be a long time before a girl from York could have a friend in Berlin. The crown will have gone out to the charity shop when I got taken into the home. I was an old woman whose marbles were going, stuck doing impersonations from the old films to other old folk whose marbles were going. W.C. Fields, Charlie Chaplin, a rubbish Fred Astaire. Of course, they all thought it was Charlie Chaplin. You know, different now. But what if I got that giggle going? We might all have been shot. Or we might all have been safe. Is it silly to feel guilt for what could have been? I want my crown back. I want to feel its weight. I want to carry my moment in history. If you find it and put it on, I want you to know what that means.